Right there. We go. So three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Matt, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here, WSAU, WSAU.com. What's been going on in the
Hey,
city
Michael.
since we last
Uh,
spoke? I feel like it's been a while.
yeah, it seems like it's been a while, but it's probably been about a month, I think.
Probably,
Yeah, yeah,
probably. Again, it's an election season. Everything just, rolls into one for me
yeah,
these days. I mean, especially because I'm in here 6 days a week, and we've got elections that are, contentious at one side or the other. We've had certain election related things here in Wausau, but down in Wisconsin Rapids, I guess if correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you've got things flowing pretty smoothly there to towards November 5th.
yeah. Okay, so 6 months in is pretty
Mhm.
much where I am right now, and it's it's
Sure.
been
Yeah.
it's been a very educational time, very fast paced. I've enjoyed every moment of it so far. There's a few probably that could do without, but for the most part, it's been a
Right.
great time. Um, just meeting a lot of people and those trusting me to kind of like you said, kind of keep the ball rolling here and get my feet wet. We did dive into full on the budget, which was all the way back in July in terms of trying to get things rolling and but now is when things start heating up and I was on the finance and property committee for 2 years as the chair before I entered into the budget cycle this year, and this is a whole different ballgame in terms of seeing it from the beginning of what is brought in as what the
Right.
needs are and what's available and how things continue to come. Even when you're trying to get to the end result, you got something that comes in that disrupts the entire budget, and you got to go back through and kind of equalize everything out to get back to where you need to be. There's a lot of stress that goes along with that for Tim is our finance guy, and he does a great job with it. But at the same time, I'm getting to see the toll that it takes, as well as the election coming up. So the clerk is busy, doing her stuff and
Oh
trying
yeah.
to do common council still. And we met last night and had a nice meeting. So got a lot of stuff accomplished. Got the original or the first draft of the budget out. There's still some things that are being tweaked, but at least they know where we stand. Got to that zero line and just trying to figure out where we go from here. And yeah, it's been pretty awesome. And they seem to be trusting me to, lead that ship as the executive budget. So
Right. And you mentioned zero line. So is that what you're going for this year? Is kind of no increase, keeping everything as much the same as possible, even though obviously some people are going to have their, excuse me, their property values or their tax bill impacted because of the revaluation you just recently went through.
yeah, well, the certainly the property taxes will um, as they do every year, go up somewhat. And that the assessment was definitely uh, a big thing for everybody in terms of seeing it and then understanding what that literally means on the bottom line with the taxes. So I think that's all still coming out. When I say zero, that means making sure that we are in line with what we have for, income versus expenses versus trying to keep it from increasing from last year, because we've had a few things that have come up that I've kind of shifted money around a bit. We did go through a whole wage study last year, and that started last year as it was implemented by the council. But it really is more seen fully, I guess would be the best way to put it. This year coming up and what that did to the overall budget and how that played into it. And so,
Yeah, absolutely. And again, one of the reasons that you were recommended for the position by former Mayor Shane Blazer is because you had that experience on the finance committee. So I'm sure you're not completely going into this one blind, but you're still probably being surprised throughout the process, like you kind of alluded to.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I would like to say that it helped me a lot. To me, it's just so many moving pieces and so many nuts and bolts in the whole big picture of what's going on. And until you're in the middle of all of it, it's really hard to wrap your mind around what it takes to put that budget together. So it is definitely a whole new experience.
And I would say it's probably like, I mean, no different than pulling up whatever banking app you have on your phone and looking at your own finances because especially again, if you're like me, you keep pretty good track of everything, but it's inevitable there's going to be one, two, maybe three times a year where you'll pull that up and say, "Wait a minute, where did that come from?" You're
Yeah.
just probably doing that on a much larger scale. It's not $35, it's maybe $35,000, right?
Yeah, it is. I will say we have a really great team in finance. Karen and Lori are in there too with Tim and Aaron also. And they've I've they've kept me in line. There's been a few times and I have to use the credit card for something and or
Mhm.
do this with payroll and that and they're quick to make sure that everything is straight so that everything lines up and nothing's missing. So I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate having other people help us do it, because like you said, your own budget, it's all on you. Whereas this way, it's more of a team effort and everybody works really well together to make it happen. So
So when you do have to pull out the credit card occasionally and use it for something and have to explain it to the finance department, do you ever use the excuse, well, I thought the rewards point would be worth it on the
yeah,
city credit card? Does that work?
no, no.
Okay.
But you do have to have the receipt. It's got to be signed. I've
Naturally.
only actually used it once, and that was for we did a communication survey in the community, and one of the we did a drawing at the end for people who did it, and one was lunch with the mayor, and
Okay.
had one person that picked that out of the winners, so that was fun. We got a
Okay.
chance to talk and get in depth a little bit, so that was fun.
Mhm.
It was,
Yeah, yeah. And just, when you use that excuse, just don't tell them I told you to do that.
yeah, okay, I'll,
All right. All right. Perfect.
appreciate
And you had a couple of proclamations coming up here this week. Actually, you just made them late last week. I know the one was Free Speech Week. That was something that was actually started by your predecessor, Mayor Shane, and a couple others as well. Tell us what was important about these.
Yeah, so, you know, and again, a lot of these are in place already. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around where they all came from and everything, but I haven't found any that I didn't, disagree with. And there's a few more things that are out there that I might add to the plate eventually. But certainly free speech is obviously something we all, as much as one side tries to play it off against the other side up at that national level about
Mhm.
I don't think anybody wants to take away the ability to speak because once you do, you're taking away your own ability to speak freely. So I think it's just hugely important for all of us to be able to say what we need to. My hope, ultimately is that we can also be like, I'd say like mature adults about it and
Mhm.
like know that what's it with responsibility,
With great power
great
comes
power
great
become,
responsibility.
yeah.
Yes,
And that's kind of
Spider-Man
it.
1.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have the ability to say what we want, but I think we should also be mature enough to be able to say things that are beneficial, not just, anything that we want because we're free to say it. Again, we're not going to stop them from saying it, but my hope is that people would use that and take pride in the responsibility of that free speech.
Yes, Spider-Man 1. Do not test me on Marvel movies. You'll learn that pretty
Okay.
quick here over the next couple of years.
Appreciate that.
But yes, on the other side of that too, there's the other great quote sometimes about free speech is, it's better to say nothing and let them think you unintelligent than open your mouth and remove all doubt. Some might say I use that a little freely, but nonetheless, yeah, I know that was something that Mayor Shane felt very strongly about, and so it's I guess good to see that you're continuing that as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and what were some of these other ones? I know the one was White Cane, and this is actually something that Mayor Shane actually told me about. I wasn't aware of the White
Yeah.
Cane Awareness Week.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think all the blind folks in the community need all the support they can get to just let them be safe and live a good life, just like we all want. And in a way, we all face our challenges, and the more we can look out for each other and help each other out, it just makes for a better community. And the one life we have to live, we should make the best use of it.
Yeah, and White Cane Awareness Week kind of centers around making sure that when you're out in the community and you see somebody walking around with the white cane, you give them room, give them help if they need it, and be extra careful, especially if you're driving around them, because you realize that they've got an extra hurdle to overcome there with their blindness, but they're still trying to go about their day just like you and I would.
Absolutely. Yep. Take
And then,
care of each other.
yeah, absolutely. And then the last one was I believe it was uh, Community Media Day. What is this
Yeah,
one?
community media is, we have our crew here, Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Uh, Taylor and Joe do a great job just putting together the information that we need as a community to get out. Sometimes we can't rely on the bigger media companies to get all the information that we should be getting out to the community and being able to talk. I think it's important to make sure that what we are doing inside the city itself is communicated well with the residents and businesses so that they feel a part of the process, a part of the big picture.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, there's only so much we can cover in these monthly chats here for 10, 15 minutes at a time. And
Yeah.
again, I don't have the staffing to always be there at Wisconsin Rapids City Hall. So being able to tell your story from the inside out for your residents, very important, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, we're working on setting up some platforms, a little bit more of more up to date podcasting type situations where we can talk to each other. And yeah, I think I really like the ability to pull out a lot of information when you're just sitting and having a conversation like you and I do. And I think it's a good platform to be able to do that on. So
Hmm.
working towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to seeing what that's like
Yeah.
in the years to come.
Hey, and
You,
if I could, there was one other proclamation for
sure.
Domestic Violence Week, and that was huge with our family health center and all the folks that work there, and just bringing that to the forefront and bringing it out in the community so that people aren't hiding behind closed doors, either being afraid or being angry and causing the problems, hurting other people. So I think yeah, I appreciated them giving me the opportunity to be a part of that conversation and just supporting everybody that's involved with it on all sides of the situation. So
Mhm.
um, it's been good.
One more thing then before we let you go. It is October after all. What do we need to know for Halloween in Wisconsin Rapids?
Yeah, so we are doing Halloween on October 31st, obviously Halloween, and from 5 to 7 here. And the Saturday before that, I can't even look at a calendar fast enough, but the police department here always does their
Mhm.
Halloween here on the Saturday before the actual Halloween. So that's always a great time for people. And I've heard that the line can go all the way down the blocks, into the city. So it's a very well attended event, and we appreciate the police department for putting it on and reaching out to the community that way. It's a lot of fun and it's a great opportunity.
What do you want the community to know then about trick or treating and being aware of the little ghosts and goblins as they are meandering about town?
Well, just everyone be safe, have a good time, be safe with each other, and take care of each other.
And what will you be handing out on Halloween night?
Candy,
Okay. All right.
that's all I got.
We'll go with it. We'll go
Yeah.
with it. You're not in charge of the selection.
No, no, I'm not. Just candy,
Just
sugar.
just whatever happens to be in the bowl. You are given the bowl with the instructions to hand it out, right?
Right, right. I
That's
won't be the dried fruit guy.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
oh,
good.
yeah,
Nobody
we'll have
likes that
candy.
guy.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that guy. Well, there, Matt, we appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again next month.
All right, Michael, take care.